Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Once Upon a Game. I'm Eric, your host and game facilitator. No, actually not today. I'm just your host today. Welcome. We're playing Across the Endless Sea. This is a story game show where we try to feature one-shot story games or at least just a one-shot of something. But we tend to lean towards the weird indie side of things. And speaking of weird indie side of things, I brought over a really great cast of people to play with today. So I'm really excited, and let's not waste any more time. Let's just go around and say who we are. And I'm so excited to see all these people, some new faces and some olds, and it's excellent. So I'm so happy to have everyone here today. So let's just go down in order on stream. So Blackwool, Emily, how would you go first?
Hi, hello, I'm Emily. I'm Blackwool Says on Twitter. I'm a filmmaker and an artist, and sometimes I make art for games, and sometimes I do this occasionally now, apparently. And my pronouns are she, hers. We always do that.
Yes.
It's a good habit.
That is a great habit. Yeah, I wish that's actually a really good point. I want to know if there's a way. Okay, I'm adding that actually I'm going to try to.
Cool.
Okay. In the future, I'm going to ask if we can do that by editing our Zoom names, so we have that.
Ah, yeah. Okay,
I think that might be a thing. All right, cool. So anyways, I've been doing this for a couple of years, and you guys, you learn new tricks all the time, so look at that. That's cool. Keep going. Luke, welcome back.
Hello. Yes, it has been not that long. It is good to see you again. In the intervening time, I guess I published this game that we've played here a few times before. So people can buy this game now if they like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, in general, I am a professional GM for children, and I'm a game designer sometimes, and my pronouns are they, them.
Yeah. Perfect. Cool. Let's keep going down. Sci-Fi.
Hey everybody, I'm the guy in your ears, the one that you hears. I do things on the internet. I watch a lot of anime. You
that was great. That was great.
I've been trying it out. I tried it in Tux's stream a couple weeks ago, and I just stuck. I'm like, yep, that's the intro now. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff on the internet, mostly on Twitter. You can follow me at Twitter, sci-fi with an underscore. I talk about Gundam a lot. I'm making a mecha RPG in the time being. It doesn't have a title yet, but it is coming along smoothly. I will probably do the title last. And yeah. My pronouns are he.
Hey, I mean, there's definite precedence for when designing characters and character creation to do the name last. Why wouldn't you just do that with game design?
Look,
yeah, exactly.
Names are fucking hard.
Especially when you want it to be Googleable.
You also don't know what you have an idea what your game is about, but you also don't know until it takes a while to find the right.
If I give it this title, I might define my game in a different way.
You need to know what shape the box has to be to fit on it. It's hard and stuff.
I don't think I've showed this on a stream yet, but I made a Gundam model kit the other day.
Cool.
These things are super interesting. They're completely snap together, articulated model kits, which are crazy.
How are they? They snap together? So it's like plastic into a socket kind of thing?
Yeah. Hang on, I can get out one of the runners.
That reminds me of Bionicles. Bionicles were so fun.
I have the box right here.
Well, that's interesting. Okay, because
all the parts come on these sort of plastic sheets,
sure.
And all you need to take them out is like a pair of hobby nippers, and they all slot together. So satisfying.
Hobby nippers. That's a great phrase.
Yeah.
That's
Hobby
so.
nippers.
See, so I put together little miniatures. I do War Machine, and so I put together an army with that, but that required a drill press and
Oh yeah, it was
powered up a
simple.
paper clip. That sounds way better.
The instructions were in Japanese, and I was able to assemble it within 2 hours. The only annoying part is you see these little yellow things here? These are separate pieces, and there's 8 of them. And I lost one.
Okay, that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, there are some not fun things, but on the whole, it's actually really satisfying, and I want to buy more Gunpla, which is the acronym for Gundam Plastic Models.
It's not Gunplam?
Yeah.
This is Gunpla.
No, because they already have an acronym for plastic models, which is PLAMO. So it's Gunpla.
Okay. That's fair.
I love Japan. I miss it.
I love Japan.
Right now.
And
Oh,
what are
I miss Tokyo. Oh god.
And Sci-Fi, what are your preferred pronouns?
He, his.
Okay, cool. And then last but certainly not least, Adam.
Hi, I'm Adam, or Dark Lavender Void. My pronouns are they, and I am a game designer who's currently making a great-ass game called Mortally Bankrupt. I have a Patreon where you can support my production of that game. It's like a streamed reality show, but instead of people watching the show, eldritch horrors watch the show and interfere with your life. And
It
it's
sounds
great.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
that's a new
literally like a
development.
Firebrands hack that you play in chat that has like mechanical plugins to the game on screen. It's fucking great. I'm glad to be designing that kind of game.
That's so cool.
What? Okay,
Yeah.
I need to see that. That's actually
The-
that's
The era of games designed to be played on stream has arrived.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, like, for example, you can, like, just like how you have Devil's Bargains and Blades in the Dark, literal devils are offering you bargains, for one thing.
Well, I mean
That's
that
the coolest.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
And okay, cool. So that's back to me, and I'm Eric, and I'm EricVulgaris on the internets. I am a part-time streamers of role-playing games and occasional video games, mostly role-playing games. And then when I'm not doing that, I'm also doing show production stuff and a lot of like behind-the-scenes support work for Misclicks. So that's what I do
And sometimes
right now.
you paint miniatures.
Yes, I do. And I need to do that more. Yeah, so what we're doing here today in Once Upon a Game is we're playing a story game. And if you never heard of a story game before, it's kind of like a movie that we're going to make together collaboratively with zero prep beforehand. And it's going to, at the end, it's going to explode and that's it. And we're not going to return to it. So like this is just sort of like a thing that we're going to do. We're going to make together and then it's going to end. And it's going to be amazing. And there's a couple, I want to just talk real quick about a couple tips. Oh, I'm also he, him. That's my pronouns. And I just want to talk about a quick couple tips about it. I know it's not our first story game rodeo, but just in general, I'm a very, very strong proponent of open communication at a table, even if it's on a stream. And so if you're ever uncomfortable with something like that, feel free to voice it in whatever way you think is the most appropriate. So that's if that's like a private message in Zoom or just saying it or something like that, or like just being able to say like, hey, can we fade out here? Or hey, can we X card this? No matter what time it is, let's just make sure that we remind ourselves that we are adults playing a game and our happiness and our safety comes first. Okay. Yep. And then the other big thing about like, hey, how do we actually do this? It's a lot of just paying attention to what other people are saying. It's a lot of active listening is the most key ingredient to this soup that we're making today. The second most important thing was probably just being the not trying to overthink things. Just say the first thing that comes in your head. Be obvious. And people will pick up on that because what's obvious to you isn't what's obvious to other people all the time. So your first idea is typically the best. And people are going to like, sometimes for you okay, I guess I'm going to diverge for real quick. And it's one of my favorite stories. It's how if you try to be cool all the time, right? And like try to be edgy and come up with the most creative, unique thing. Let's just say 9 out of 10 times it doesn't work. But that one time it's unbelievable, right? Well, if you just be obvious, it works 9 out of 10 times, and that 1 out of 10 times it's unbelievable. Like it's just a better option to do. All right, so just trust us, do it. It's a lot of fun, and then believe. So, anyways, that's all that out of the way. Luke, you are facilitating your game today, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I will be facilitating this game after GoPlay online, and I'm also going to be facilitating this game at GoPlay. So if you're a Seattle person or going to Seattle this weekend, I will be there and I will be playing this game. So come say hi.
I'm so mad I'm not getting to go play, but that's a topic for later.
It's so cool though.
Yeah, we're gonna play this game that I wrote.
Yeah.
So this is a game about fantastical oceans and surreal sea voyages across them. It is a game where we tell the story of a people who are traveling across the endless sea towards some destination that we will figure out what it is. The game is played in rounds of months of the journey. Each month, each round, the people will have like one major encounter with one of the natural forces of the endless sea that poses a threat to them that we will play out and then we will resolve. And then at the end of the journey, if we're all still alive, I guess we made it. Good job, everyone.
Yes.
This game borrows from Avery Alder's Dream Askew, the idea of everyone is going to have 2 playbooks in this game. So all of us are going to play an aspect of these people, the eyes of the people, the voice of the people, the heart of the people, and then each of us is also going to have responsibility for one of the facets of the Endless Sea. Its islands, its weather, its waters. And in any given round where we have an encounter, one person will be chosen to play the Endless Sea, and their facet will be the one that is threatening the people. And then the rest of us will choose an aspect to lead us in confronting that. So if it is the weather confronting us, we might lead with the hands of the people. If it is some fellow travelers on the sea who are confronting us, we might lead with the hearts of the people or the voices of the people. And then there are rules, and we will go back and forth, and we'll figure out what happens. There's no dice in this game. This is a game where the basic mechanic is the application of common sense and what seems fair.
It's a good system.
Yep.
It's actually incredibly hard to design a game where that actually beats out what someone else at the table's idea is for what should happen. It's hard. It's a good standard to keep your games at. So, anyways, that's what are we doing here?
Yeah. So, to start this game, we need to pick someone to read aloud an excerpt of text, or as I believe we've done previously on this show, we can break it up and let people and it kind of trade off lines. I have no strong preference. Would anyone like to volunteer to be reader?
I'll volunteer to read if no one wants to.
Yeah, you know what?
Yep.
I want take it away, Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
You want me
Sci-Fi-
to read this whole passage or just
Yep.
Are we gonna-
Everything in blue.
Whole passage. Everything in blue.
everything in blue? Sure. Let me just get rid of Roll20 avatars because they are blocking out some of the text. Okay. The endless sea flows out beyond the horizon. Its tides and stars are strange, and its weather wild and treacherous. Each island and outcrop that breaks the surface is more perilous and wondrous than the last. Outlandish travelers roam over the face of the water, while weirder creatures lurk beneath. Across this stream-like expanse, there are a people making a long journey. The people are travelers, wanderers, voyagers. They are known for their keen eyes, their skillful hands, their lovely voices. Their hearts are as untamed as the sea itself, and their memories as deep. They are on a journey towards a far-off destination, hoping for a safe arrival. They journey across the endless sea.
So that's what we're doing today. So the very first thing that we need to do is we need to choose who is going to be playing what. So there are 6 aspects of the people to choose between: the eyes of the people, the hands of the people, the hearts of the people, the memory of the people, the voice of the people, and then the special edition bonus expanded playbook that is still in playtesting, the law of the people, LAW, because I know there's an accent thing that can be a challenge there. So if we include the law of the people, my observation is that it shifts the tone of the game somewhat, and the game becomes very interested in the ancestry of the people and the heritage of the people and the question of their past and where they come from. If that is something that we are interested in, we can include that playbook. If that is not, we can just play the standard version of the game. I've got no strong preference.
I like it. I liked what they added to the one that we played the other week, so
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
I would enjoy this new DLC, but I mean, if people want to play it straight, because we have a couple new people as well, I'd be totally on board with just playing it vanilla.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Sounds good to me, because then it means we have a choice as opposed to every single one of us must pick one of the 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
All right, cool. Yep. So all 6 aspects are in play. So yeah, have who has a preference for something they'd like to play. If you have a question about like what an aspect actually like means or represents, just hit me up.
So I brought us over. The People of the Endless Sea page actually has a good description of it. I'm going to read it out to everyone who's watching who may not be able to read the small font. The eyes of the people are keen and unblinking and spot hidden dangers and opportunities that others may miss. The hands of the people are strong and clever, and many skills and crafts are represented among their number. The hearts of the people are deep and wild like the ocean, and many values and virtues guide them in their voyaging. The memories of the people are ancient and well kept, and many rituals and customs are kept among their number. The voices of the people are rich and haunting, and many tales and customs forgotten elsewhere find life again on their lips. And the law of the people is more about the where you come from. I don't know. What's your pitch?
Let me give me a moment. Let me just wait for the Roll20 to haze to clear up so it's legible. So the laws of the people are ancient and intricate, and chart old treaties made and blood ties to ancient heroes.
Okay, that's cool.
I mean, I really liked playing Memory last time, but I would also be keen for Voices or Lore. Any of those 3 are really cool to me.
I was fancying Law. That's okay.
Do it, Eric. Embrace your inner rules lawyer.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna go to Law.
I think I might go Voices this time, if no one else is super committed to that one.
Yeah, I just want to know what Adam is thinking of picking.
I was thinking of Voices at first. I could go Heart.
I mean, if you want to go Voices, I'm happy to go Memory again.
I'll be a Heart. I'll be the heart of the people.
Heart of the people. Nothing bad will happen. I promise.
It's okay.
All right, so we got Adam is Heart, Eric is Lore, Emily is Voice, Sci-Fi.
So we have
Eyes, Hands, and Memory.
I think I'll go with the hands of the people.
Okay.
Cool. Oh god, what am I
gonna
pick?
fix this curtain before I just end up with like giant sun face. You better see me.
Sounds like a good plan.
No problem. Yeah, good plan. All right, and then obviously, Luke, you have memories and eyes to choose from.
Oh god, it's so hard. I'm gonna reserve my right to keep thinking about it as the facilitator. So meanwhile, the other choice that we have to make is everyone has to choose a facet of the Endless Sea that they will have domain over. There are 6 of them again. The dwellers in the Endless Sea, the creatures that dwell beneath it, the islands of the Endless Sea, the spirits of the Endless Sea, which, Eric, again, that's DLC content for you. The travelers on the Endless Sea, other human people or human-like people. The waters of the Endless Sea themselves, and then the weather of the Endless Sea. And so everyone similarly picks one that they have kind of responsibility for.
The first one that came up that I think I'm really interested in doing is the Travelers, but that's
I did that last time and it was fun. It was a good time.
I'm thinking of the waters of the Endless Sea.
Yep. Awesome.
And these GM playbooks are handouts if you're looking for what they mean.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
But as Luke said, they're pretty self-explanatory for the most part.
I'd be keen for spirits. One minus that one.
Yeah, I was thinking of taking islands.
Yep, cool. Okay, so that's hands and islands for you, Sci-Fi.
Yes, the
Yeah.
island of hands.
I mean, look, we could go there.
God.
This does allow for that. Eric is law, and you were thinking travelers, Eric?
Mm-hmm.
I am okay. So here is the point where, as the facilitator, I am going to give you a gentle nudge. Do the travelers is probably the playbook that most naturally, the kind of threat that is most naturally
Resolved
like an
by
obvious
law.
candidate to be resolved by law.
Yeah.
So I'm just putting that out there for you to think about.
Okay,
If you
okay, no
want
worries.
to do a bunch of non-obvious things with the law, you can totally do that. I just want you to know that. And then Adam, you were going heart, and then waters.
Yep.
Yep.
Then I'll be dwellers.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
This way,
Eric's
I'll
gonna be the
just fix that problem by
dwellers.
being dwellers.
Yep. All right. Oh god. Now I have to choose again. Fuck. Why do I do this to myself?
You still have to choose what you are if your memories
I
are eyes.
know. I know. And now I have to. And then I have to choose the other thing too.
You're stacking up
Why
choice
make a
debt,
game?
man. You're
Why do I
in
make a
choice
game where
debt.
people
Be
Why do I
memories, Luke.
make a game where people have to make choices? Yeah, fuck it. M's right. I'm gonna be
You're
mad.
right. Witchcraft. More witchcraft.
I fucking wrote my thesis on religion. Of course, I'm gonna be memories.
Exactly.
And then I think I'm gonna do travelers, and we're gonna have kind of good weather, or at least not narratively consequential weather.
Yeah.
All right. So we've all chosen. Good job, team. The next step is everyone needs to go to the page in Roll20 that corresponds to their aspect. And then on there, in the first column, it is going to ask you to choose some things. It is going to ask you to choose, for example, the heart will be asked values and virtues that people have. The hands will be asked what skills they have, so on and so forth. So make those choices, and that can be a collaborative process if you want it to be, and we can bounce off each other. And then two of us will have additional choices to make. Adam, in the second column, it will ask you to choose our destination. Do so now.
Okay.
And Eric,
Yes.
in the second column, it will ask you what advantage our preparations have already won us when we start the journey. Choose that now.
Let me take a look.
Okay. Circle 1 ancestor and 3 taboos. 2 ancestors. 2. Okay. Right.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, we played this with Andrew, Commuting Crow, and they were like, look, this game is basically like it's powered by the apocalypse, but all that's left is just the bits where you make evocative choices. And I was like, I mean, yeah, like that's not untrue.
It's like just the 7 to 9 lists. But
Yeah,
you
it's
don't
just
roll
the
dice
7
to
to
get
9.
to the 7 to 9 list.
Exactly.
Dope. Yeah, that's very true, and I like that.
And apparently Vincent Baker agrees because I'm on the big lists now, I guess.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool when that happened.
Yeah.
I love how broad Powered by the Apocalypse is. I
Yeah.
just love it to death.
Absolutely. Well, because some of Vincent's games, which are definitely powered
Murderous
by the Apocalypse,
Ghosts.
like, look nothing like Apocalypse World, which is so cool.
Yeah.
Where are we? Draw shit.
Oh, should I be putting these choices somewhere, by the way?
Yeah, so if you mark them on the page with little circles or underlines or whatever for yourself,
Gotcha.
and then also if you can retype them on the main people playbook page, which is kind of like our group resource to keep track of overall who are we and what the fuck are we doing.
Shoot.
Eric, if you just like cross out the flavor text about the eyes and put yours
Oh,
those
right.
dot point,
Yeah, that might
put
be
yours
the
on
easiest
those
way of
dot
doing
points.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'll probably be easiest for you.
Let's see. Of course.
Okay, I've decided our destination.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We're going to the yearly festival where we will meet with other peoples who are our family.
Oh, Eric,
How wholesome.
Eric, do you remember how wholesome that turned out last time?
Mhm.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was lovely.
We're going
We
to
just
a
had
festival,
the
4th
God.
of July.
yeah, we had the most cheerful time, you know.
I just don't believe you. I'm. Don't know why.
Anyone in chat who watched that, please don't spoil it for them.
Okay, I've
Oh,
made
yeah.
my choices. Now time to transcribe
Me
them.
too. Yeah.
Hmm.
There isn't really an easy way to do that, is there? Because
Negative.
No.
can't. Yeah. Cool. Just checking. I don't mind doing it this other way. I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure I wasn't missing a faster way.
So where do you want me to copy this onto?
So it's the people. It's the people of the Endless Sea. It's the page with the player's flag currently on it, and there'll be a section for your aspect. And if
Gotcha.
you put it down under there, so we can see what you've chosen, and also probably like while you do so, maybe like read it out for both us and the chat.
Yeah,
so that we all
exactly.
know what's going on?
Should I also transcribe why we're on this voyage somewhere?
No. I think we'll just have you redeclare that at the end, and we'll all just keep that in our minds.
Okay, great.
Wait, it's gonna take. Okay.
Okay. Do I
Betray the
want?
lost land?
All right. Feedback time. Do I want a cool ritual that's like a funeral ritual? A cool ritual that's like yay new babies ritual, or a miscellaneous cool ritual that might or might not actually be useful?
Well, I have one thing that might be one that I've chosen that might be useful for that decision, which is one
Yeah.
of the ones that I've chosen is a tale how the people failed to bury their first dead and birthed the dusk
Oh,
mist.
fuck. In that case, yeah, okay. I've just made my
So,
decision. We know
cool.
how to bury people now. We learned that shit.
Good, excellent.
Mistakes were made, and we do not want to remake them.
If it helps anyone else, I'm also, I think I'm choosing for my other, how many do I choose? I choose 4. Okay.
Yeah.
For my other 3, I think I'm going to go with a tale how thunder is the singing of storm serpents and lightning their tongues. And I'm also going to go with a tale how the jealous stars made the golden city from stolen sunlight as a trap, and a tale how Cormorant first stole fish down from the void between the stars. I went with a kind of like, I don't know, sky theme a bit. So
Yeah, awesome. In that case, I'm going to change one of my choices. Cool. So what is that one?
What I've got for my virtues and values so far, I'm missing either one more virtue or one more value, but here's what I've got so far.
Yep.
I've got joyfulness, merriment, a zest for life and its passions as a virtue. And we value a deep respect for kindness, compassion, and a heart open to others, and we respect the ineffable. So spirits,
Yeah.
ancestors, gods.
Perfect.
Cool.
That's really good because that completely dovetails into my law of the people. And these are the things that I have chosen. I've chosen Sarga, the Salt Sage, who betrayed the Lost Land. I also
one of
chose
our ancestors.
as one of our
Yep.
ancestors. Also, we've chose Ruhal, the shipwright, who has built and challenges us to be inventive. We built the first ships. And our 2 taboos are people must not tell untruths, and people must not give offense.
To other people, Eric. I feel like that's a very key clause of that taboo.
yes.
If they don't count as people in our eyes, we don't owe them shit.
Okay, to other people. I'll put a capital P people.
Yeah,
Okay.
right? Like,
Or in group. You can't lie to our in group.
well, no, but it's also it's a question of like, do the things that we meet count as people, or are they just animals? Right? Like that's always the
Okay.
question.
And now here's a
crap on
question.
'em.
Here's a question that for you guys, and particularly for you, Luke. So I'm
Yep.
choosing the thing that we're starting the journey off with, and I'm choosing the sacred relic. Or
Yep.
And I kind of have an abstract thing because of course I do.
Okay.
We have the last royal bloodline. We have the final like the heir apparent to our peoples.
That's cool.
Is a sacred.
Can a bloodline
Is it-
can the descendant of
Can the
kings be
person be
be
a
the person? Yeah, can that person be a relic?
I mean, I feel like if the answer were yes, that would say something very specific about how we treat that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think
I
of
think that's
yeah,
the key
yeah.
thing, right?
So
Like,
I'm picturing like the Dalai Lama, right?
Yeah, like the
Like
Pope.
reincarnated in
Oh.
our group, kind of thing.
Or I can't remember what they're
Or a
called.
candidate.
I can't remember what they're called, but the place where there are those the young girls who are embodied goddesses and their feet aren't allowed to touch the ground.
oh,
damn it.
yeah,
Do
I
you
know
know
what
the
you
thing I'm
mean,
talking
but I
about,
don't
Luke?
know
I can't
the
remember what they're
word.
called.
Also,
I would love it if that person can't get wet.
Oh
that would be-
yes,
yeah, that's cool as hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
If also, Eric, you said you chose one of the ones about the salt sage.
Mm-hmm.
I think if that's the case, I'm gonna change one of mine, and I'm gonna drop the one about cormorant, and I'm gonna pick up because I have one about the salt sage as well.
Okay.
Which I think I'm gonna do because I like that kind of synergy. So instead, I'm gonna go with a tale how the lost land was betrayed by the salt sage and became forever lost.
Whoa, wait. Your tale is how the land betrayed the salt sage.
No, I think how
Was
the
betrayed by.
was betrayed
Yeah.
by. Yeah. So somehow the salt sage caused the lost land to be lost for us.
Yes. Okay.
I also have all four of my hand choices if people want to hear those and talk
Yeah,
about
totally.
them. So the skills of crafts that are people that I have chosen were goldsmithing, beating cold copper into shape, wayfinding, navigating by stars, sun, and tide, carving, engraving, and sculpting in bone and ivory, and shooting, skirmishing, fighting boat to boat.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
What should I call my relic? Should I give it a name or a title?
I mean, it is a person.
The sovereign of the lost land. Like,
I like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
if we,
I kind
The Lost Land.
of feel like part of what M was aiming towards, and I think is valid, is I think if this person is a sacred relic, I think that has to necessarily mean that we're not particularly good about acknowledging their personhood, right? Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
they're kind of an object.
yeah,
No,
and,
that's
and like maybe even the taboo against lying doesn't apply to them because they're not
Ooh.
people.
yeah,
like,
it's possible.
yeah.
Mm.
Like, I feel like that one's got to be messy. If we're choosing to make a person a relic, I think we have to make that messy.
That's like you can't lie to people. Well, God isn't people.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And then my rituals, which I'm nearly done copying and pasting, are as follows. We have a ritual, a song and a shark's tooth as tokens of safety to call schools of fish. A ritual, stones and fire at dawn to unmake the dead into the kelp the people came from. A ritual, bone-weighted nets and sacred smoke to bind or command gods or spirits. And a ritual, blood and flesh sacrificed to the water to call gods or spirits for speech.
Ooh.
So I've made some of my choices.
Yep.
One of our virtues is that we have joy in our hearts and a zest for life.
That's beautiful.
We have, I picked a lot of beautiful choices. We have a respect for hospitality and the ways of the wayfarer. We have a deep respect for the ineffable, and we have a deep respect for kindness, compassion, and an open heart.
Aww. That's real sweet.
Let's
So-
see how long those last.
All right,
Yeah, exactly.
I have a development. The Sacred
Okay.
Relic. So it's a bloodline from the Lost Land, and they're referred to as an object, as the Ark,
Yeah.
because it's
Oh
the
my God,
connection
Eric,
to
I
this
like that.
divinity.
Eric.
Think of, yeah,
Eric, they're descended from Ruhal the shipwright, which is why, like, calling them by the name of a type of boat is also
Oh,
appropriate.
yeah.
well,
Yes.
Ruhal built the
Oh, my
bloodline
God.
to escape the
Yeah,
Lost
Ruhal
Land
built the bloodline.
to get off. Yeah,
Because-
no,
yeah.
to save the bloodline. Yeah, it's something like that. Like
Yeah.
done.
Oh, that's the best because yeah, you've got that like the thing between like the Ark of the Covenant, and then
Yeah.
like the Ark as in the boat that you put everything in to save
Yes,
it.
yes,
Ah, that's so good.
and
Yeah.
the bridge between this lost world and this one. So it's like
Yep. Awesome.
Easy.
All right. I think it sounds like everyone has made their choices.
yes, I think so.
M.
Yes, I have. I'm just copying the last
Yep.
ones over, but yeah,
Fantastic.
I
Cool,
have
cool, cool.
done.
All right. Awesome. In that case, let's just refresh. Adam, where are we going?
We are going to our yearly festival where we will meet with our kinfolk from the other peoples.
Cool. And presumably, like, I'm imagining there has to be some kind, like, the fact that we are the keepers of the Ark, that there has to be some significance there, right? Like, we go to the yearly festival and we're like, yes, the Ark, woo. And then we
Yeah.
all remember the lost land, and we're all like, ah, yes, the land that we had, it's tragic.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, cool. All right.
Are the rest of our kind on, like, say, a different continent, and we're the last group of people who's wandered off?
I think it sounds to okay. So, I mean, I don't think there are any continents in this world. Or if they are, there are very far away ones. Like it's all
Sure.
it's all fucking ocean.
Yeah.
That's why it's the end of the sea.
Based on what Eric has said, I get the impression that we and our fellow peoples are all refugees from the destruction of the Lost Land. And that, like, we all left in, like, different directions, like, because we were different clans or different moieties, or, like, you know, there was some ancient distinction that is why we are currently grouped the way we are, but, like, we all recognized a shared, like, kinship. That's what I'm imagining, and
Sure.
that they also just, like, sail around most of the time as well, but...
Yeah. That's pretty much what I was thinking.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, cool. All right. So we are pretty much ready to go. There's one more thing I have to read, and then I think we'll be ready to begin our journey with the first month. I might volunteer, or rather, I think one of the more experienced players should be the threat for the first month, because they know how that process works, and they can, like, transparently step
Yeah, and make a good
through the
model
process of it.
Yeah.
And make a good model. But before we do that, let's just talk about the people a little. So we've made a bunch of choices about who the people are and what they believe. Everything else is up for grabs except for these. These are the other, like, things that are known about the people. The people travel in rafts and kayaks, not in ships. Maybe on one great raft, or maybe in a flotilla. The people have no single organized religion, right? No god to whom they are exclusively sworn, no ruling spirit, no single faith. They all share belief in the Sparkbringer and the rites of sun return, but beyond that, there are as many beliefs and worships reflected among their number as there are islands in the endless sea. They reckon the year in 12 months using a solar calendar based on the teachings of the Shrine of Sun Return. Our journey will last for 6 months. And they have traditional names, and they're on the sheet. So, I think, let us begin with the first month. The close of summer, a month that is traditionally called Plenty.
Okay.
So, Eric, who would like to nominate to be the first bad thing that happens.
I mean, I can do it. I can do.
Yeah.
I'm not against that idea. I've only done
Yeah.
this once before, but
It's all right. Take it away.
I guess that's more than none.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so I need to get an encounter prompt and as
Yep.
normal. All right,
Yep.
and I should try and do this a little bit kind of like,
Yeah, I can talk through it while you do it if you'd like. Or you
yeah,
can talk
that'd
through
be
it.
good.
It's up to you.
If you can
All right. So
do with me, that'd be really
yeah.
good.
So step 1, M is going to roll a d8 and randomly select an encounter prompt.
And it's
there are
from the
8
spirits
for-
list, isn't it?
Yeah, there are 8 for each facet, so they're customized.
6. Okay. All right, so
For the purpose of the demonstration, Em is going to read that out so that we all know what it was.
Yeah.
Normally you would keep that to yourself,
Yeah.
and you'd just use that to guide you.
Okay. So the one that I rolled a 6, which is the people feel a bone deep chill as a presence comes among them.
So, at this point, you open your facets playbook. These are the handouts. They have 2 lists on them, in addition to a procedure, which is basically what I'm going through now. The two questions that you have to answer are: what does this thing look like? And there's a bunch of prompts. And what makes this thing dangerous? And again, there's a bunch of prompts. You
Okay.
silently to yourself ask and answer those questions.
Mhm.
You give as many answers as you think make sense. I often find just start with 1 or 2 for each, and then if new ones become obvious as you are narrating, so like write those down too. That's fine.
Okay.
So Emma's gonna make some choices. Tell us
Okay.
what it looks like, but maybe keep the dangerous bit secret.
Yeah. Okay. So I should share the look like choices.
Yeah, just
But I'll
as
keep
an
it on.
example.
Yeah. Okay. So a presence. That's nice and vague. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Titanic, towering and enormous. And I'm gonna go with radiant, luminous, and lit from within.
Cool.
I think I have an idea
Yeah,
of what
so
that looks
You
like.
need to-
And then I'll choose
yeah,
my
so you make these
dangerousness.
choices yourself. You also choose some dangerousness stuff. Then, when you are ready, you describe how the people come across.
Whatever this is,
the
yeah.
thing is.
Yeah, yeah.
How do they first sight it? What are their first impressions of it? And then you stop.
Yep.
And then the people choose together a bunch of things about how they're going to confront it.
Okay.
So we're going to give Em a moment.
Oh, are we in a flotilla or are we one giant ship or what?
Yeah, good question.
That's a good question. Okay. That I say that though I don't have an opinion. I do think whatever the nature of our arrangement, there is some kind of like central almost shrine where the ark is kept.
I was going to swing towards one ship.
Me too.
If we're having a vote.
Yep, so like one giant raft.
Yep. Okay. One great vessel.
Yep. Yeah, because we don't. The people do not have ships. We're not advanced enough for boats.
It's the biggest pontoon you've ever seen.
This probably isn't
Like-
my place to say it, but what if this is the ship that Ruhal made that we've been maintaining, or gave us the plans to make?
You know what?
Right.
I think that's fair. I think the fact that Ruhal is in the game makes that valid. So yes, just this once, I will say the words.
So
The
like
people can have a ship. I've said it.
I also like the idea of a ship that we maintain like a raft because we don't know how ships work.
Well, yeah, I imagine. Yeah, that's kind of what I was picturing. Like I was picturing like Noah's Ark kind of thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So congratulations,
Like, it's a raft,
we made.
It's a raft
yeah.
with walls.
Yeah.
So it's got the silhouette of a boat, but it's basically a raft.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm picturing like I don't know if anyone here has ever been to a Shinto shrine, but like the Shintai in the middle where like the holy relics are kept enshrined. Like
Mhm.
I'm picturing like a cabin set apart in the middle where the
Does it
ark
have
lives,
the
and
Does
like
it
no one
have
but
the
the priests
bell
allowed
with
to
the
go.
string?
I can if we want a bell with a string.
I don't know. It's just
I
the first
don't
thing
have
I
a
think
strong
of when I
preference.
like
Yeah.
all the Shinto shrines that I've seen have a bell with a string.
Okay. So
Cool, so
we're in the first month. We're in the first
Yep,
month of
so-
plenty. It's the closing of summer, and M is choosing what the Taurus illuminated
Radiant
spirit.
will- Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think I've
Are you
I've
ready?
got it. Yep.
Cool.
I'm good.
All right,
Yeah.
take it away.
Okay. So yeah. So this is the first month. So presumably we haven't been traveling a long time. And actually, I feel like this is very early on. This is sort of, I don't know, as the people have kind of got out of sight of wherever it was they left from, and perhaps this is like kind of the first nightfall, and in sort of the middle, the early hours of the morning, when maybe a few people are on watch. They feel before they see the sense of something uh, enormously large, kind of like moving toward the ship. They just kind of get a sense of it, like the pressure of a wave that is about to kind of hit you when you're standing in the water. And they look up to the sky, and they can see sort of in the distance, coming toward them from, I think from the direction that they are heading, a massive sky serpent, or at least something that looks very much like one. It is huge, like 10 times the size of the boat. It's kind of not entirely corporeal, but it glows like a big line of lightning. And yeah, it kind of like silently drifts through the sky toward the ship. And I think that's the first signs.
Yep. I don't know if it's just me. Every time I picture like sea serpent, like serpent-like dragons, their motion is always like swimming through air, like more than flying. I don't know. I'm into that shit. All right, cool. So the next thing that then happens is that the remainder of us choose which aspect will lead us in confronting this encounter. And M is not allowed to, the Endless Sea player is not allowed to speak. All they are allowed to do is do this and try and be an ocean as best they can.
Make ocean noises.
Make ocean noises, but they're not allowed to have an opinion. No opinion.
Yes.
So, fellow aspects of the people, who do we think is most equipped to confront the giant thunder sky serpent thing?
Let's see. What are our choices? We've got hands, memory, or no? Do we have memory?
My first thought was
yes.
memories.
Yep, we do. Yeah, and so so it is important to talk about this at this point. So let me find this exact text because it is important. Yeah, so this choice can be based on strategic considerations, or what makes sense, or what seems most interesting, or on who hasn't had a turn in a while, or like whichever. Like there is no mandated like criteria on which to make this decision. It's up to the group what we want the procedure for choosing it to be.
So,
Does the procedure for choosing have to be the same every time?
Nope, we can change the criteria as
That's
often
what
as
I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
because like I can. Yeah, because if we choose the hands of the people, right? Like that sounds like we fight the giant sky serpent, and like that could be real cool. It also probably would not end very well. That's my basic instinct there.
Yeah.
Whereas like if we pick the heart of the people, that's going to be a very different looking encounter. And so like I'm open to a range of possibilities with this one. Eric, sorry, you were saying something.
Yeah, no, I was literally just going to say that exact same thing. I was like, well, if we do the hands, then it sounds very, very physically confrontational rather than either mentally or spiritually, in a way.
Yeah, like
right? Ideologically.
I feel like our basic choices are kind of like we could fight it. Like if we pick hands, that kind of means we're gonna like probably fight it. If we pick heart, that means we're gonna try and like communicate with it. Whereas if we pick law or memory, we're gonna try and like magic juju it.
Because it is a giant sea serpent and not human, we can tell it untruths.
What is it? I didn't say we can't lie to. We can only tell the truth to other humans. I said people.
Oh, that's true.
So the question,
what if this
is this a non-human person?
I would like to see this done with voices, I think.
Voices sounds neat.
Or you...
But I think I'm voices.
Oh, your voices. Your voices. That's right. Okay.
What else can you say?
Voices is not a valid option.
All right. Memories. I think.
All right. I'm
Memories.
down.
We also have heart, don't we? Heart might be.
We also have heart.
Yeah, we also have heart, and I'm down for either.
Memories. That's memories.
Yeah, memories.
Yeah.
Memories. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Eric, you got the playbook where I poured a bunch of my wanky anthropology into. I'm like, but is it a non-human person or is it an animal? You all have to discuss for yourselves and make a decision. All right, cool. So let's figure out what's going to happen. So, I am now lead aspect for this month. The third column of my playbook has all of the rules I will need. There is a move for encountering when an encounter arrives that lets us interrogate the fiction, and then under it there is a move for confronting the encounter.
Mm-hmm.
So, right now I am gonna use the move where we interrogate the fiction. So I get to ask a couple of questions. Oh, there's one of these that's too ironic as a question. I think not to ask, but like.
That sounds good.
No, I'm not gonna
go with the obvious answer.
I'm not gonna ask it because like it's not actually a relevant or useful question. It just has the word storm in it, which is why I'm testing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For what does this thing hunger, or by what has it sated itself?
Okay. So I think that these kinds of creatures, we know that there are stories about these sorts of creatures, and I think that in the stories of the people, they're often seen as an omen, but they are usually not bringers of peace. They are an inspiration for aggression and warlike, a warlike mind, I guess. They want storms to happen. They want people to fight.
Cool. Yeah, and I'm picturing that like there's someone among the people. I think they are like an adolescent. So maybe like 14 or 15.
Mm-hmm. What's her name?
Yes, it's a good question, Eric. Yeah, I was just about to ask myself that. I think their name is Savay. So Savay. So I'll put them into the members of the people. But yeah, I think they're like 14 or 15, but I think they've been that old for a very long time. Like I think something happened to them more generations ago than the oldest person on the raft remembers. But the story is that like they fell in the sea one day, they got dragged down, and they drowned. They died, but they were brought back up and like CPR or whatever was done, and they coughed back out the water and they woke back up. But ever since, like, there's not a person in there, there's just knowledge. and they haven't really aged since.
Mm.
Oh.
And I think
I like
they're
it.
one of the very few people who are allowed to enter the cabin of the Ark, who's understood as like ritually pure enough to do that. And I think they're the one who's having these insights about what's going on. And then my second question. What weakness, taboo, or vulnerability do the people remember this thing has?
Ooh. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go with my first thought because someone sort of like asked this question before. I think as far as the people are concerned, this is not a person. And I think that its vulnerability is that it will take things at face value. It will believe what it's told.
I have a follow up, like a question to clarify that. Does it have? Do these things have names? Do the Thunder Serpents have names? Like, are they individual? Are they individuated, or are they just like an amorphous mass of like?
Are they a
there's
we?
The Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they a we or are they an I?
Oh, that's a really interesting one. I think they appear to be individual, but if they have independent names, the people have not been able to identify them or always tell them apart. I think they can be told apart only by their behaviors, not necessarily in appearance.
Fantastic.
Cool.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Oh, good.
Awesome. So, now that I know that neither of our taboos apply, and I could basically
That you can,
go ham.
Yeah.
It's
of course, known spirits.
It's not known or named, right? Like we don't owe this thing shit. All right. So I think so. Okay. So now I make the confrontation move, and I decide what course of action we're taking, and I describe what that looks like, and then I ask the magic words. Are we successful? And then the M will tell us. But so, okay. So what happens is... I think... Okay, so there's someone among the people who is like the face of the priesthood. Like of the people who are allowed to speak with the Ark, like they are the one chosen to relay their words, like back to everyone else, and they are the one who speaks for the Ark, and speaks to the Ark on the people's behalf.
Sure. What are they
Adam-
called? What are they
Adam,
called, or
could you
what's their
choose-
name?
Yeah, Adam, could you choose a name for them? I feel like that sounds most like the heart of the people.
Certainly.
Yeah.
There's a list of names.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Riha.
Yep. And are they man, woman, non-binary?
I think she's a she.
Yep. And okay, yeah. So there's Ruha, who is like an older woman, and I think she steps forward and she speaks to the creature of the storm, and I think she lies to it, and she lies to it, and she says many pretty words and promises promises offering and promises that if it will come close and it will give the people its blessing, they will go forth and they will make war like on its behalf and in its name and under the cloud of its great shadow. And once it approaches, like fooled by this deceit, the bone-weighted nets are thrown, and the sacred fires are lit, and the strength of the people's rituals folds around it to bind it.
Right.
And yeah,
Is that visual?
Is
that like visual or like metaphorical?
Both.
Okay.
Like to like make it a tame creature that is ours.
Yeah.
Does this course of action work?
We could have a sweet flying dragon friend.
We
Exactly.
totally
What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
It's a good question.
Show up to the festival with the arc and the flying dragon? Like, you
Yeah.
crazy?
So at this point, the player of the Endless Sea has 3 options. They have 3 ways they can respond. They can say it works completely, it works partly or at a cost, or it doesn't work. And they'll describe to us what that looks like. They'll tell us one of those things, and then based on that, they'll tell us if we win things or if we lose things. And then I will farm out those choices of what we win and what we lose to you guys. And the 4th column of your playbook has a list of things you can choose to be won and things you can choose to be lost. But you can always also just choose something that makes sense within the fiction. So.
Okay. So
spirits.
Yeah. So I think I feel like this sort of maybe hasn't happened, something like this hasn't happened within like living memory, but is it Ruha that you said? Ruha. How do I spell that? Ruha. Okay. But yeah, the sort of procedure, I guess, that Ruha follows is like a known way of dealing with these creatures. So I feel like it works at a cost.
Yeah.
Because of the immense power of this thing that you're binding. So I think they bind it. But I think and I think that it is before they bind it, it gives its blessing. So I think, can I say 2 things won, 1 thing lost?
Yep, you absolutely can.
2 things won, 1 thing lost.
All right. And so now I choose who chooses those. So we've got, let me have a look. We've got the law, we've got the heart, and we've got the hands. All right, hands of the people. You're going to tell us one thing that's 1. Law of the people, you're going to tell us one thing that is 1. Heart of the people, you're going to tell us one thing that is lost. And also, just because it's dope as hell, and I don't know if Em planned this, but this is cool. This is why the weather is not consequential in this playthrough of the game.
I mean, I didn't plan it, but
we tamed
like
the Storm Dragon. Like, that's why.
Straight up.
The rest of the
just
game.
did it at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should make the voyage a lot easier.
Yeah. So we win that one.
That's what we think, right? Overconfidence is a slow and
exactly.
insidious killer.
So let's start. Sci-Fi, Hands of the People. What is one thing that we win from your sheet?
Okay. Here's one because I think it will be interesting.
Yep.
One of the people is changed and becomes a priest or sorcerer.
Yes. So and so is that like whoever threw like the final net that actually caught it? Or is that just like some random bystander who just gets like hit with a blast of like divine power?
I feel like I almost want to say it's like someone like not directly involved with the ritual, but like you know, maybe after the ritual was complete, like the dragon is just like, "You there, you are worthy."
So the dragon life
Oh.
chose them.
Yeah.
See,
Oh,
so
I mean, I think
is it maybe even like the keeper, like the person who is given the bound dragon,
Essentially.
is entrusted to keep that?
They're the keeper of the dragon.
Yeah, cool. Do you want to give them a name and tell us like kind of their gender and a little bit about them?
Yeah.
And then just-
Sure.
yeah, and then there's a section on the overall sheet where you can write that in.
Okay. Is there like just I've heard
there's a list.
about a list of names.
Yep. So if you go to the overall people sheet, in
Yeah.
the very
Okay.
top of the second column, it has a list of names and a space to write down people, members of the people.
I think this person is named Aaron. Aeran.
Yep.
I think they are a boy, a he, him.
Yep.
And they are the chosen keeper of the dragon.
The dragon keeper. Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, Eric, law of the people, what is gained? What is won?
So I think I'm going to add the reputation aspect of this.
Yeah.
Part of the thing that I'm thinking of here is, I think storm dragons are somewhat related to the lost land. And that I think that
That's
this
cool.
is bolstering our existing relationship. I'm getting a feedback from somebody. I have headphones.
yeah, I just noticed that too.
Might be me. I'll just mute when I'm not talking, just in case.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, it might have been sci-fi. Okay, well, yeah, I think so. That's my big thing that I'm thinking right now is that our relationship with the storm dragon is also tied into something that I think that we did back on the Lost Land, and it's a sign of favor before the betrayal by Sarga. So like
Saga was totally like a dragon tamer or something.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
before she. Yeah.
Mm.
Actually, that's okay. That's interesting. I just used she for Saga. Does that feel right to people?
yeah,
I mean, it feels
Works
right
for
to
me.
me, but that's because Saga was
Sure.
streaming the last time we played as well. So
Go
Yeah, like-
for it.
Yeah,
Okay.
like none of the ancestors have specified genders, so it is up to us
Yeah.
to choose what they are.
yep, no, that sounds good.
All right, cool. Thank you, Eric. And if you can, so Sci-Fi and Eric, there is a section down at the bottom of that second column where it lists things that we've won. So if you could just quickly summarize those things you've chosen in there, that would be good. And now, Adam, Heart of the People.
I was so
Speak to
delighted
us.
when you chose me to lose because
I know.
I
know
really
what your
enjoy
choices
being-
are.
being the punching bag.
Heart of
think
the
we
People,
lose-
Tell us what we lose.
I think we lose our deep respect for the inevitable because now we just have bound a fucking storm dragon.
Yeah, no
And
kidding.
now we've controlled the weather for the rest of our voyage, and now we think we're better than the gods and the spirits and the ancestors.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Nothing is ineffable anymore. Anything can be tamed.
Delete key is what I say to that.
Yeah.
Cool. Ooh, actually, could you write that out again? And then can we put a strike through it so we can see that it?
I
was
don't know
there?
that we can.
We'll just draw a
not
line
like
through it.
Not as a
Oh,
fun
yeah,
option,
draw a line.
just with the
Okay,
drawing
sure.
tool.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, cool. All right, and then that is the end of our first encounter. So that happens in the very early days of our journey, and I think the people are like bolstered by this, right? Like this ties into our heritage and our ancestry. We tamed a dragon too, Saga. Fuck you. And so we sail onwards. And I think, Eric, are we about due for a break?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I was about ready to say that. So we are at 7:17, so we're a little bit overcooked for our first break. We'll be back in 5 minutes, guys, for more Across the Endless Sea. So we'll see you then.